Over the weekend, news broke coming out of Texas that appeared to say that a woman was going to be charged with murder over committing abortion. Now, there's been some added nuance and big legal developments. So let's all catch up on what's going on, because a lot of people very justifiably scared about what they were seeing in the story. So the news, as of more recently, the district attorney of Starr County, Texas, just yesterday said he would drop a murder charge against Lizelle Herrera, a woman who was arrested on Thursday for allegedly causing the quote, death of an individual by self-induced abortion. And admittedly, there were a lot of details missing from this, including what law it was that she was apparently accused of having broken, whether she was accused of helping a different person self-manage an abortion, or whether it was hers. Now, as of right now, the charges are being dropped, understandably, because there was a lot of pressure that was put on them as a result of this. And in fact, we're not gonna go into the details, but you can see the statement from the DA's office wanting to get out in front of this before it spread even wider. But let's see what we can learn about this. Let's see what we can figure out. Miss Herrera was arrested and detained near the Mexico border. According to the sheriff's office statement, she was indicted on the murder charge after she intentionally and knowingly caused the death of an individual by self-induced abortion. Okay, so self-managed abortion is any abortion outside of specific medical care. It can include the use of abortion pills. In some cases, it can include those attempted with supplements, herbs, or vitamins, multiple contraceptive pills, or emergency contraception pills, or physical trauma. We want to make sure that you understand that there are attempts to do it sometimes by using like a ton of Plan B, because I can't stress enough that using Plan B is not having an abortion. Just in case any Texas Republicans are listening, let's make sure that they understand that. And still, many details of the indictment remain unclear, but activists on both sides of the abortion debate got fired up over this, specifically because Texas has taken some extreme measures over the last year to get rid of women's reproductive rights, allowing basically anyone to act like Dog the Bounty Hunter and sue the pants off anyone involved in a woman using the rights she's had as long as she's been alive. So Francesca, what do you make of all this?
A lot of things to say. The first thing I want to say, obviously I was very happy that the DA dropped these murder charges of an alleged abortion or an abortion. But if you read that statement, the DA also says that the investigation was absolutely correct and fine, and the sheriffs did their job, essentially saying she should have been arrested. It was okay that she spent 2 nights in jail, and that $500,000, which organizations, pro-choice organizations, had to raise.
Wow.
From, I'm sure, people who are listening and people who care about this case, that was all good. So essentially it was, I'm dropping these charges, but it does not preclude a future incident very similar to this, which is someone is investigated for doing what they want with their own bodies. I mean, so anyway, I am chilled by this. It is very, very, very chilling and scary. The second thing I'm gonna say is this happened because hospital staff referred her to the police. So we're talking about major HIPAA violations, but also something that happens a lot. I did some reporting on this in El Salvador. I talked about it on my Patreon only episode, but really briefly, what happens when you have places that have really draconian abortion laws is that hospital staff do not understand what is the law or what is not the law. And what they do sometimes, I'm not saying all hospital staff, they will refer people to the police. Women have woken up in El Salvador chained to the bed because they are accused of performing an abortion, because that is 100% illegal in that country. So this is a slippery slope we are headed down.
Yeah, and that's a world that obviously we find horrifying, reprehensible. And that is a world that activists in Texas and other states are trying to barrel us over the edge of a cliff toward. And they might not have the legal status quo in Texas that they want just yet, but they're working towards it. And by the way, take a look at some of these insane updates on this. So in terms of what could they have thought they were charging her under, what law did they think could have applied? So a professor at the University of Texas School of Law says if prosecutors are literally charging her with murder under Texas law, it's likely they either forgot about the exception for murder or they have some other theory for why this could apply. I do not accept that they forgot about an exception that seems pretty foundational to this area of law. Now, we don't think it has to do with SB 8, which is the Texas abortion law that we've talked about so much. Maybe it's just a test thing. Maybe they thought they could get away with it. I don't know. But this is the sort of situation where, like, thank God there are activists and media that raise the profile of this, that make sure that the eyes of the nation are on it. Because if nobody had paid attention to this, is it possible that they still would have dropped the charges? Maybe, but it certainly seems less likely. And there's so much that we don't know. It is conceivable. One could come up with something that could have been done where the original thing, I guess, was merited. God only knows. But they haven't provided any of that evidence. And considering all of the other context about the radical anti-abortion laws and efforts that are undergoing, that are being done in Texas and other states, thank God that we got them to back off in this case, Francesca.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it is that nebulous, all these new nebulous laws that are causing people even who seek legal, even under the really strictest guidelines of their states, new abortion, draconian abortion laws. They're like, well, I guess I can't get an abortion. Healthcare providers always get this question. People who can terminate pregnancies, they always get the question is it legal? Is it legal? It's the number one question they get from people who are seeking to terminate a pregnancy, which is devastating because it keeps people away because they think that they're doing something illegal. And that is the point of a lot of these laws. It's not necessarily to get $10,000 off of people, although that is insane, but it is to send that chill to prevent people from even trying to do this in the first place.
Yeah.
The thing I wanna say is I looked at the Texas Penal Code and it is in there. There is an exemption for murder, so-called murder, if it is the termination of a pregnancy, if it is a physician terminating a pregnancy, if it is the person carrying that fetus terminating the pregnancy. Watch how Texas will come for that part of the penal code. Just watch.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, people are already saying like, we are all trying to figure out what is going to happen if and when the Supreme Court rules on Roe the way that we think that they might. And what are states like Texas gonna do in the immediate aftermath of that?
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.